This is the Schmo with the pro, with the Olympian, the former welterweight champion in one championship, and Bellator, the former UFC fighter, the one and only Ben Askren, here in an undisclosed location, Las Vegas, Nevada. How we doing?
I'm doing great. How about you? Always good to see you.
It's always great to see you. The Schmo was hunting you down for a few months, but hey, you're on our turf, our city. We got to make this happen.
Schmo, you're getting pretty popular, and I just realized your glasses actually say the Schmo. Are they custom made for you?
Actually, the Schmo just came out with the Schmo brand glasses. We got to give you a pair. We're going to give you a pair as soon as this interview's done.
Okay, good deal.
You got a big press conference on Friday. Hey, if the Schmo gives it to you, do you promise to wear them at the press conference, at least for a minute?
We'll send the Schmo my sponsorship rates, and we'll see what he thinks.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that. That's a maybe. It's still on the table. Now, this is a big fight, April 17th. It's a boxing fight, man. It's not your forte. You got Jake Paul, an influencer, calling you out. But how come you're so confident that you're going to beat this guy April 17th, Atlanta, Georgia, Triller?
Yeah. Wow. Triller, huh? I've been top 10 in the world in 4 sports. And so I figure, 12 weeks, that's enough time to figure out how to beat up Jake Paul, right?
Well, listen, this guy's been training for 3 years. You've only had a couple of months. You're fresh off of a hip surgery, but you couldn't be training till December. Is this hip 100%?
Oh, my hip's outstanding. That's for sure, yes. But let's see. So I got September 1 was my surgery. I didn't start doing anything until December 1st. And then I want to say it was kind of like a done deal mid-January sometime. Like they contacted me late in December and then mid-January, so I started training. And my hip's been outstanding. And
the Schmo was catching up on some Food Truck Diaries. That's just released. You were catching up with Brendan Schaub. Dana White was the one who linked you to Freddie Roach.
Yeah, Dana's my buddy now. We're good. It's funny. It's funny how circumstances bring people together sometimes because even the UFC traded for me. Dana and I weren't buddy necessarily, and now he really wants to beat up Jake Paul, so he's kind of hooking it up.
So the Schmo asked Dana White the other day or the other hour, what did Freddie Roach make of Ben Askren? He said you looked outstanding. Yeah,
dude, Freddie was so cool. I mean, he's a total legend of the sport, and just to be able to go in there and kind of watch what he does and how he does it, it was an honor, right? And I always love seeing people who are great at whatever they do it, whether it doesn't matter wrestling, boxing, or other sports or other businesses. He's so good at what he does, and it was just fun being in his presence and working with him, and I learned quite a bit.
But Funky, you only worked with him for a week. What did you realistically learn in that week's time?
Well, you could be able to pick up a lot of things really quickly when you're at the level I am, right? I'm an Olympian, and I've been top 10 in the world in 4 sports. I understand how to pick up things quickly. I learn very fast.
This Jake Paul, he thinks he's going to knock you out. But look, man, do you think you're just going to muddy the waters? You're going to tire this guy out, and you're just going to win a total of 8 rounds?
That's the plan. Make it ugly. Everything I do looks a little bit strange. That's why I got the name Funky. And I'm not saying I'm going to go out there and display beautiful, pretty boxing. I'm going to go out there and get my hand raised. That's what's going to happen.
The other week, the Schmo was in Seattle. We met up with Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson,
nice.
The guy you were traded for from one championship to the UFC. But listen, he said if he had $500,000, he put his money on Jake Paul. And then we also, on the Schmo Zone podcast, we had Paulie Malignaggi. It's like he wasn't even considering you a real fighter. He was talking about the Jorge Masvidal knee and saying, this guy's not a fighter anymore. What's up with the disrespect?
I'm surprised Demetrious Johnson doesn't have $500,000 because he's made a lot of money. He has a big fight coming up. I think it's a title fight. Paulie Malignaggi, I didn't even respond to him yet, so I guess this is my first response. This guy lost to Artem Lobov. That is a T-Rex, little tiny arms, who was a 500 fighter in MMA. My brain hurts thinking about it. Paulie Malignaggi, it's a hard name to say, was a world champion in boxing, and he lost to Artem Lobov. Like that, how hard is that to believe?
In your defense, it took the Schmo 6 tries to get Malignaggi right. 6 interviews. We were always saying Malignaggi. We couldn't get it right.
But Schmo, how did the guy lose to Artem Lobov in his own sport?
Well, it's bare knuckle.
It's boxing.
Well, there's no gloves though.
It's bare knuckle boxing. It is boxing. You may have a different apparatus on your hand, but he was world champ. Artem Lobov is 15 and 16 in MMA. He's not very good at it.
Yeah. And you got Dana White betting.
How does that even work?
It is what it is, but you got Dana White betting $1 million on you.
That's fantastic. Appreciate the faith.
There it is. Now, what do you make of Jake Paul, your opponent? I see him on social media. He's pulling fire trucks. He's getting in the DMs of your beautiful wife, Amy, man. He's trying to get under your skin, but he doesn't realize that Funky is an awkward guy and he can handle all the pressure.
Yeah, no big deal. You know, it's funny how people on social media are obviously not very smart. Just kind of the hive mind there. And it's so funny because he wants to sell himself to this fighter, so he's doing all these fighting things. Like he says, I'm eating chicken and rice, which is, who cares, dumb, right? Or he's pulling this fire truck. I'm sure like it was a one-time photo op type of thing. But you know what? I guess he's working hard. Good job, kid. And April 17th, we'll find out if he's worked hard enough.
And this weekend at UFC 260, you got your longtime T-Rate Tyron Woodley fighting Vicente Luque. There's reports out there, if Tyron doesn't win this fight, the UFC is going to cut him. Do you think there's any added pressure? Or what do you sense after being with your longtime friend, who also told the Schmo he's going to be cornering you April 17th?
Yeah, Tyron will be in my corner April 17th. No, it's probably another fight. You know, this guy's been in the game for a long time. He's won a world title and held it for a very, very long time. I think Tyron's going to do a great job on Saturday night. And listen, if the UFC were to cut him, as they have been with a lot of people, I'm sure he's going to have a ton of other offers because he's a really, really high-level fighter. And there's a lot of heat behind his name.
Who else is going to be in your corner? Duke Rufus, Freddie Roach, who else?
Right now, it's just my training partner, Biggie Rhodes, and Tyron Woodley. Duke and Scott Cushman, Rufus, April's a crazy month for Rufus sport. I think they have Gerald's fighting, Anthony's fighting, Emmanuel's fighting, a whole bunch of people. So they were too busy and booked up. So those two for now, and we'll see who else.
Excellent. And then we got this press conference on Friday. What can we expect out of you, Funky?
The truth and nothing but the truth. It's always the truth, Schmo. Truth hurts people sometimes.
Indeed. Can we get a final message for the Funky fans out there worldwide?
I hope you guys are enjoying the circus. It is, in fact, a circus. And April 17th, tune in.
He's the pro, I'm the Schmo at an undisclosed location. We're out. Hey, Funky, do you know who this is?
I believe the guy's name is David.
That is the David. So the Schmo sleeps with the David statue right near the bed, but, after meeting you quite a few times now, it kind of looks like Ben Askren.
It may be one of my ancient ancestors.
Who knows? The Olympic blood runs deep with the Askren.